So I got the truck back from the shop after it broke down at just 120 miles on the odometer. The issue was simple, but the consequences were catastrophic. Someone at the factory forgot to properly connect the transmission oil supply line coupler, and that connector burst under pressure while I was driving on the highway, completely draining the oil and destroying the transmission. Now that a new transmission is in, I'm already putting miles on the truck again. And of course, with a new truck come new parts. I ordered my Ram without any factory add-ons, no bed coating, no running boards, and no bed cover. Not sure why Ram doesn't offer the molded plastic bed liners anymore. I always liked those best since they were tough and easy to clean. Right now, the bed just looks so bare and unfinished. I know I won't be using it that often, probably just a few times a year, but when I do, I want at least a basic level of paint protection. This rough country bed mat seemed like the best option for my needs. It only costs around $100, and you can even get it through Amazon with free shipping and 5% cash back if you're using their credit card. If you're wondering, the mat weighs around 50 pounds. It comes rolled up in a box, but oddly, it's rolled the wrong way. I don't know why it's not rolled inside out. It would make it so much easier to place it at the edge of the bed and unroll it directly into place. Instead, you have to fully unroll it first and then awkwardly slide it in. And even after 14 days of sitting in place, the top corners still wouldn't sit completely flush. I'm sure there's some manufacturing reason they roll it this way at the factory. Also, it smells horrible. It has that thick, heavy rubber smell that lingers for weeks, especially if you're using a bed cover and the area stays closed. But aside from that, I'm really happy with it. It fits well and should do its job just fine. Speaking of bed covers, I wasn't really interested in a soft or roll-up cover. I knew right away I wanted a tri-fold. There are a lot of great options out there: Paragon, Backflip, Diamondback, and others, each with their own unique features and price points. But they all cost over $1,000, which just felt a bit steep for what I needed. One tri-fold stood out as a lot more affordable though: Rough Country. Yes, Rough Country again. I might have been a little worried about the build quality because for Ram 1500s, their trifold covers start at just $649, where others are around $1,000. And they actually offer two different hard trifold versions. There's the hard low profile bed cover, which is the cheaper of the two, and the hard trifold flip-up bed cover, which has a folding section that flips up toward the rear window, giving you full access to the bed. That full bed access is the main difference between them, and it's not something I really needed, so I went with the cheaper one. I always try to hunt for deals, and I found an open box unit on Amazon Warehouse for $549. These are always hit or miss, but I got lucky. Even though the box had some tears, everything inside was new and in perfect condition. If you're curious, the cover weighs about 59 pounds and is packaged very well, with multiple layers of foam in different densities. You'll definitely want to use the manual for this install.
Manuel who?
Some parts are not very intuitive at first glance. Here's one of the rails, the drainage tube, and the hardware box. It even comes with some wrenches to help with installation, which was a nice touch. At first, it's a bit hard to tell what each bracket is for, but once you get going, it all starts to make sense. The manual itself is pretty detailed, but it's missing one important piece of information. It doesn't clearly explain where you're supposed to place the brackets on the bed. These two larger brackets go in the back and are meant to hold the first section of the cover to the rails. Then there are 4 clamps that attach the rails to the edges of the bed. At first, I installed the clamps closer to the window, which seemed logical at the time, but that turned out to be wrong. The manual didn't make that clear at all. There are also 6 small brackets that snap into place and secure the folding panels. I started by applying the sticky foam strip along the edge of the bed to help seal the cover. Here's one of the side rails. The tailgate side is closed off and already has a locking tab mounted to it, while the cab side is open for the drainage hoses. First up, I installed the rear panel mounting bracket, which slides into the channel and tightens with a hex screw. Then, from the other side, I added the locking brackets for the cover's folding panels. Next was the drain hose. There's also a rubber strip included in the kit, but you don't need it for Ram 1500 beds since the bed rails are already flat. Now I moved on to installing the 4 clamps that secure the rails to the bed itself. I used the included wrench, but right away I noticed it was the wrong size. The clamp bolts are 16 millimeters, while the supplied wrench is 17 millimeters on one end and 14 on the other. Not a huge deal, but not sure why is this even included then. I left all the clamps a little loose for now so I could make final adjustments once the cover was in place. Then I repeated the same steps on the other side. With both rails installed, it was time to drop in the cover. You just slide it into place like this. Again, something not mentioned in the manual is the alignment. There's a foam strip underneath the cover, and you want it to line up exactly with the strip you applied to the bed. The rubber lip should just barely overlap the edge. That meant I had to trim the foam where the plastic bed caps begin so the cover could sit flush. Once everything looked good, I dropped the rear screws into place and tightened them into the rear brackets. But again, if I'd known the exact bracket placement ahead of time, I could have saved some time and guesswork. The drain hose goes through a hole in the side of the bed. There was still more guesswork with the bracket positions. This one was in the wrong spot for the safety strap, so I moved it closer and reattached it. There are holes like this at every panel crease in the cover. Hopefully they won't be a source of leaks in the future. I poured some water on the cover and it looked like the drainage system worked pretty well. And during real rain, the water pools and then flows right off the sides. So far the bed is dry. Here's how this rough country trifold looks compared to the more expensive flip-up version. I'll admit, the premium version does look a bit cleaner and sleeker. This one is on F250. The finish on the panels is slightly different too, and it might be worth the extra few $100s if you care a lot about appearance. Maybe. But honestly, I really like this cover. It fits well, looks good, works exactly like it should, and for the price I paid, I'm more than happy with it. I actually really like how the truck looks without any running boards, and at first I wasn't even planning to add any. But the day I picked it up, I was surprised by how difficult it was to get in and out, especially for smaller passengers, so I figured I might as well go with some GoRhino running boards. Before I ordered them though, I happened to find a set of OEM boards on the local marketplace for a fraction of the price. They just needed a little cleaning, and honestly, they'd be perfect. The install was super easy. There are 9 studs along each side of the truck's floor. I decided to clean them up a bit before mounting the boards. I am not exactly sure what was on the threads, maybe some kind of factory-applied Loctite. Either way, I just wanted to get all the sand and dust out so I'd have clean threads for the new hardware. And since the used boards didn't come with any hardware, I ordered some bolts from Amazon. I also picked up some washers, probably not necessary since the bolt flanges are pretty wide, but I figured it wouldn't hurt. Like I mentioned, there are 9 bolts per side, and that's really all there is to it. It's basically a 30-minute job that one person can handle without any help. And while I was under the truck, I actually found something interesting. Turns out these are the rear floor pockets tucked away underneath. With the boards installed, I have to say they actually look better than most of the aftermarket options out there. They are a little faded, but nothing a quick cleanup can't fix. So I grabbed some tire shine and got to work. This is the stuff I use on my tires, and I found it works well on running boards too. It's a bit more greasy compared to something like Exoforma, but it's also much easier to apply and gives a great finish. And here's the final look. Super clean, and again, for the price I paid, these OEM boards were a total win. The truck already comes with some factory tint, especially on the rear side windows and the rear windshield. The front windows were still pretty light. I wanted everything to look more uniform, so I decided to add a ceramic tint to all the windows. These ceramic films don't just look good, they also offer excellent heat reduction, which is something I'll definitely appreciate during Florida summers. The tint shop was able to match the shade really well, so now the front and rear windows are very close in darkness. I figured it was the perfect time to head out. Daytona Beach was only about an hour away, and it seemed like a great excuse to take the truck out to the iconic car beach. Before taking the truck on its first real road trip, I had to fill up the tank for the first time. And yeah, that's when the reality hit. With a 33-gallon tank, each fill-up now runs over $100. With that trip, I passed the first 1,000 miles. So far, I'm loving the truck, how it drives, how it looks, how it feels. Stay tuned because I'll definitely be doing a full review once I hit around 5,000 miles. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.